Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this video will help you with your FSA review packet for day 5 of week 1, and this is question 1. So this says, which expressions are equivalent to 3xy plus 6xy minus 12y? Select all that apply. So we know that the word equivalent means they need to be equal. So the first thing we need to do is take the problem in the question and make sure that it's simplified all the way down. Now there's no distribution we can do, so it looks like all we can do here is combining like terms. So we have a 3xy and a 6xy and a 12y. Since this 12 only has a y, it can't combine with this xy term. So these two here, 3xy and 6xy, we know 3 plus 6 is 9, and we just have xy. And then we have to rewrite everything we have left. So this will turn into 9xy minus 12y. So that's what we're going to be looking for in all of these. So now we need to go ahead and simplify all of these and see if they indeed match. So we'll start here with A. And we know A, we got to distribute, so we distribute this 3 to the 1xy, and that will give us 3xy. And then we distribute the 3 to the 3xy, and that will give us a plus 9xy. And then we also got to distribute it to this negative 6xy. Remember, always worry about your signs first so you don't lose them. A positive times a negative is a negative, and we got 3 times 6 is 12. Excuse me, 18. 18y. So right now we could combine these two, but we notice we have an 18y and we need a negative 12y, and we have a negative 18y, so A cannot be. So we'll try B. So B, we have 3, and we're gonna 3y, and we're gonna distribute that to a 1x, and that would give us 3xy, because 3 times 1, and then an x and a y. And then we have 3y times a 2x, so that's 3 times 2 is 6. X times y is xy, so that looks like we're good there. And then we need to distribute this 3 to the negative 4. So positive times a negative is a negative. 3 times 4 is 12, and we have a y. Now we're almost done because we're looking good here. We got a negative 12y, and we needed a negative 12y. So now we just got to combine these two, and these two combine 3xy and 6xy will give you 9xy. Then everything else we got to write again, 12y. So 9xy minus 12y, and that's what we're looking for. So B is good. Okay. Now we'll try C. So C, we have a 2y, and we got to times that by a 2x. That will give us 4xy. Now we have a 2y times a 4x, and that gives us 8xy, xy, and then a 2y times a negative 6. We'll worry about our sign, so that's negative, and then 12y. So the negative 12y looks like it's going to work, but we know 4 plus 8 is 12, and we're looking for 9, so that cannot be right. Okay, so now let's try this side over here. We have an xy times a 5, so we got to distribute an xy to a 5, and we get 5xy. And then we should notice here, once we distribute this, we're going to have a 6xy squared, so we don't need to go any further on that one, because we only have 5xy's and we need 9xy's, so that can't be right. Okay, now this one we have a 3y times a 3x, so we know 3 times 3, so that was D, and this is E, so we know that's 9xy. Looking good so far. Negative times a positive is a negative, and 3y times negative 4 will give you negative 12y, so E is good. And then the very last one, we already have 12x's here, but we'll distribute just to make sure. So this is F. F gives me 12xy, and then minus 18y, so we're already too much on that one, so that can't be right. So in this particular problem, the equivalent equations are B and E, I hope that helps. Stay